Orlando Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs renew their rivalry this afternoon in the much anticipated Soweto Derby at FNB Stadium. Fans have been waiting for a long time to see their favourites battle it out on the field, with this the first derby of the current season. There's a lot on offer for the winner of this match as far as the seating on the domestic league table is concerned. Newzroom Afrika's Yolulwe Qoshe joins us live from Nasrec. First port of call is the atmosphere. Is it building? Are the fans going to pack the stadium?
Well, a very good afternoon to Studio Hugo, as well as to the viewers at home. Of course, the fans are certainly playing their part when it comes to the Soweto Derby. The gates have just opened and the fans are flooded in their different numbers, different colors. They're all coming into the FNB Stadium hoping to make an atmosphere of what should be a cracker of a game between these two big rivals, the biggest game in South African football's calendar. And as we're seeing a traffic of supporters coming into the stadium, there was a traffic of cars transporting them into the vicinity, and there's no one better to tell me about how those particular logistics and proceedings went than Olani Fitla, the spokesperson of the JMPD. Mr. Olani, thank you so much for your time. Let's speak about that traffic, of course, the cars that come in. How has that been this time around for this particular Soweto Derby?
Thank you so much for the opportunity. What I can say is that what we are seeing is great. The fans have heeded to the call and they are coming early to the stadium, and of course added it with those public transport options that they do have and they can use for the day. Make sure that they do arrive early, avoid any congestion if possible, and those are the rivalry bus services. We've got park and ride services as well, the minibus taxi services, which is popular with the fans, and of course the e-hailing services with the Ubers and the Bolt. We've got a designated drop-off and pick-up points here at the stadium. What we are seeing with the traffic at the moment, the vehicles are slowly starting to come in. What we are expecting is a huge congestion. Hopefully at 2 o'clock, that will give us a clear indication if we are doing our work well. We know that with previous games at 2 o'clock, that's when we see the heaviest congestion coming into the game. But seeing that the fans are coming early to the stadium, hopefully at 2 o'clock we won't have that congestion, and we'll see that our traffic management plan is working effectively.
Should that congestion come to the fore, how do you guys manage that particular congestion to make sure that you are able to get the full flow and a better flow of the supporters into the stadium? Because we've seen in previous occasions there have been delays to kickoffs. You know, we saw that in the Mamelodi Sundowns and Kaizer Chiefs game at the same stadium late last year. So how do you go about making sure that you avoid those type of situations, especially in a huge game like the Soweto Derby?
Yeah, with that in mind, of course, to put mitigating plans to make sure that the traffic is flowing. We've got that traffic management plan of ensuring that we do have a contraflow traffic management system on the major roads around the FNB Stadium, one being Nasrec Road. We know that coming from the Shaft 17 road and the N17 circle on the northern side of the stadium, 4 lanes will actually be open for traffic to come in, and we'll be able to pack in all those vehicles at the parking spots on Shareworld parking, but also on the southern side of the stadium from Adcock Ingram Avenue to Recreation Road. We've got 3 lanes coming in as well. We've got parking, ample parking that side. Expo parking is available. We've got the Eastern Overflow, which is also available. And unfortunately, at the previous game with Mamelodi Sundowns and Kaizer Chiefs, one of our biggest challenges is that there was another event taking place at the Expo Center, which then limited the parking spaces. But today there's no other event. People are here to enjoy the Soweto Derby, and we're going to make sure that they do enjoy it to the fullest.
I mean, it sounds like a very well worked out plan. When do you guys come together and decide on this plan? Because I'm sure it's a couple of weeks in advance, so you can't leave it till the last minute to make sure all these particular logistical situations are in place. When do you guys sit down and say, listen, it's about that time again? This time to formulate the plan, and how do you go about that? Who are those relevant stakeholders that you work with in order to make sure that on a day like today, it's just pure execution?
When coming to events of this magnitude, of course, a team has to be put in place to make sure that all the stakeholders are working effectively and together, ensuring that everyone enjoys themselves. Plans are put in months months before the game actually starts with the ESSPC meetings with the relevant stakeholders like the JMPD1, but important stakeholders is the event organizers. We know that today Orlando Pirates are the main team. They are the event organizers. We've got stadium management. We've got entities from the city, which is City Power, ensuring that the lights are kept on. We know that load shedding has resurfaced, but we will ensure that lights are kept on around the stadium and at the FNB Stadium precinct. And other stakeholders is disaster management to mitigate any plans if the disaster does happen, but no disasters have happened within the Soweto Derbies ever since the ESSPC team has been put together and the joke process has taken place.
And just on the Soweto Derby, and there have been many that you've worked on for sure, are they always different? Are there different challenges for each one of them, or do you always have a particular formula that works out for each and every Soweto Derby that you now trust as the people in the powers that be to ensure that there's a free flow? Do you always go back to something similar, or do you have to re-strategize for whatever the climate is for that particular Soweto Derby?
Yes, looking into games like this, we need to look at any challenges that we've had in previous circumstances. We do try to change it a bit where we see a need to, particularly at this particular game with the contra-flow traffic management system that we put in place. We're ensuring that vehicles use a circular motion when coming into the stadium and going out, and I think that will make us avoid any vehicles coming together and causing any type of congestion. And we've worked with departments like the JRA, the Johannesburg Road Agency, with their engineers to come up with these plans of ensuring that there is a free flow of traffic around the stadium. But most importantly is working with the community and the residents living in this area. We've got Mondo View residents, we've got Rivalry residents as well. And I know it does become frustrating for them, and especially with these big games. So we do plead with them, but also go out to the communities and give them any alternative routes for them to avoid the stadium precinct during this game.
Mr. Qolani, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it, and keep doing the good work to make sure that we've got the fans free flowing into the stadium. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well, that was Qolani Fihla, the spokesperson of the JMPD, Hugo, telling us about the logistics of coming to the stadium and saying that they have heeded the call to come early, the supporters, and there should be a free flow of supporters coming in closer to kickoff for this big game, the Soweto Derby between Orlando Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs at the FNB Stadium, which is set to kick off at 3:30.